All right. So are you ready to dive deep today?
Always.
Okay, good. Because today we're going to be talking about female hormones and mood swings.
Sounds fun.
It is going to be fun. We're going to be talking about, those moments we all have sometimes that people might call Moody Bitch moments.
Oh, yeah.
But we're using a YouTube summary of the book Moody Bitches by Julie Holland as our source material for today's deep dive.
Okay.
And one thing I want to say right off the bat is that this is not about labeling anyone.
Right.
This is about understanding the why behind those feelings.
Right.
And maybe even reframing them as strengths.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so fascinating about this book. It really flips the script on the idea that women's emotions are like a weakness.
Right.
And suggests that these ups and downs we experience,
Yeah.
which often are tied to our hormonal shifts,
Yeah.
might actually be evolutionary advantages.
Well, but hold on. Evolutionary advantages.
Yeah.
So you're telling me those times when I've cried over a spilled latte,
Mm-hmm.
could have helped my ancestors survive?
It's possible. Think about it.
I'm very intrigued. Tell me more.
So way back when,
Yeah.
heightened sensitivity to subtle cues,
Okay.
like a change in someone's expression or a shift in tone,
Yeah.
that could have meant the difference between noticing a threat
Okay.
and
becoming lunch.
becoming lunch. Yeah.
That's a big difference.
So that ability to read a situation quickly and react
Right.
could have been really crucial for survival.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like having a built-in radar for danger.
Yeah.
Even if nowadays the danger is more likely to be
Right.
a passive-aggressive email
Yeah.
rather than a saber-toothed tiger.
Exactly.
But so how does this, we're talking about a sensitivity superpower now.
Right.
How does that actually play out in our modern lives?
Well, I mean, how many times have you just sensed that something was off?
Yeah.
With a friend or a family member,
Oh, yeah.
even before they said anything. Or maybe you had a gut feeling about a situation that turned out to be right.
Yeah.
That's your sensitivity at work.
Interesting.
It's like having an extra layer of perception
Uh-huh.
that helps you navigate,
Yeah.
these complexities of human interaction.
So what you're saying is those times when I'm feeling extra sensitive,
Yeah,
it's not just me being hormonal.
right.
It's maybe my inner cave woman trying to tell me something important.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is a big but, the sensitivity can also make us more susceptible to things like anxiety and depression,
Right.
especially during those big hormonal shifts.
Yeah.
So the key is to understand these fluctuations, and not just dismiss them
Yeah.
or immediately reach for medication.
Right. Because it can feel like our hormones have a mind of their own,
Oh, for sure.
especially when it comes to our periods.
Yes.
And I love how this book breaks down the menstrual cycle
Mm-hmm.
into those two very distinct phases.
Yeah.
The I feel amazing follicular phase.
Yes.
And the not so fabulous luteal phase.
Yes, totally. And understanding the hormonal shifts during those phases, I think, is crucial.
Okay. Break it down for me.
Okay, so in the follicular phase,
Yeah.
estrogen is rising.
Uh-huh.
And that often translates to feeling good, energetic,
Oh, yeah.
ready to take on the world.
I love that phase. That's like the bring it on phase. I'm I'm socializing. I'm doing my to-do list.
got it.
I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
And then just when I'm used to feeling like that,
Yeah.
the luteal phase hits.
It hits hard.
And that's where things get a little less fun.
Yeah. And with it comes a drop in estrogen,
Okay.
a surge in progesterone,
Uh-huh.
and sadly, a dip in serotonin, our happy hormone.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, and this cocktail can lead to, those classic premenstrual symptoms.
Right.
Mood swings, irritability, feeling
Yeah.
more sensitive.
It's like someone just flipped a switch.
Yes.
One minute I'm rocking a presentation at work.
Yeah.
And the next I'm tearing up over a lost sock.
It happens.
I mean, but here's what I found really interesting.
Yeah.
The book suggests that instead of just brushing off these period-related feelings as just irrational, that we should actually pay attention to them.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of wisdom in that.
Yeah.
Because some of those feelings might hold valuable insights.
Oh, okay.
It's about discerning between a fleeting mood swing
Right.
versus a deeper emotional truth.
So suddenly decided I'm going to shave my head and run off and join the circus.
Yeah, that might be a mood swing.
That's probably a mood swing.
Right.
But, feeling consistently drained and unappreciated at work,
Yeah.
That's maybe something I should look into.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about listening to those signals, even the ones that feel messy or uncomfortable.
Right.
And speaking of intense feelings,
Oh, here we go.
let's talk about love.
Oh, love.
Remember that crazy, can't eat, can't sleep feeling of falling head over heels?
Yeah.
The book describes falling in love as kind of a drug.
It definitely feels that way, right?
It does.
What's the science behind that feeling?
Well, dopamine, our pleasure-reward neurotransmitter, plays a starring role here.
Okay.
When we fall in love, our brains are flooded with dopamine, creating that rush of euphoria and excitement.
So dopamine is like the ultimate matchmaker.
I like that, yeah.
I mean, but hold on. You said earlier that serotonin dips during the luteal phase?
Right.
And now dopamine is surging when we're in love?
Right.
How does that all work?
Well, it's this fascinating interplay of hormones.
Okay.
So while the luteal phase is marked by that serotonin dip,
Yeah.
falling in love triggers a separate dopamine surge.
So it's like,
Yeah.
forget PMS.
Right.
There's a new game in town.
Exactly.
But so it's not just dopamine, right?
No, it's not just dopamine.
Okay. Tell me more about what's in this love cocktail.
Okay, so testosterone also jumps into the mix, boosting libido and desire. And then there's oxytocin.
Oh, the cuddle hormone.
The cuddle hormone, exactly.
Yeah.
Which fosters those feelings of trust and bonding.
So it's this powerful trifecta
It is.
that makes falling in love so intense
Yes.
and all-consuming.
And all-consuming.
But what happens when that, initial infatuation fades?
Yeah, that's a good question because
Yeah.
the honeymoon phase is wonderful,
Uh-huh.
but it often masks deeper incompatibilities. We might be drawn to someone who is our opposite, thinking that they will, complete us.
Yeah.
But as the relationship matures, those differences
Yeah.
can lead to friction.
How do we navigate that?
Yeah.
Because let's be real, no two people are perfectly compatible
No.
all the time.
No, not at all. And so
Yeah.
the book talks about the importance of mindfulness in relationships.
Mindfulness?
Yeah.
In relationship.
It's about being aware of our own triggers,
Okay.
communicating our needs clearly, and approaching those differences with curiosity rather than judgment.
I like that. But what does that actually look like in practice?
Okay, so imagine it like this.
Yeah.
Instead of immediately reacting when your partner does something that annoys you, you take a moment to pause and reflect. You ask yourself, what's going on for me right now?
Okay.
What am I feeling?
Yeah.
What do I need?
Okay.
And that pause allows you to respond thoughtfully
Right.
rather than just getting swept up
Yeah.
in the emotional current.
It's like taking a deep breath
Yes.
before you dive into a potentially choppy sea.
Exactly.
That space to pause.
That space can make all the difference.
Yeah.
And that ability to choose our response is crucial, especially when those hormonal shifts are adding fuel to the fire.
Right.
It's about remembering we have the power to navigate these ups and downs, even when those feelings are intense.
Right. And speaking of intense experiences, have you ever wondered about the profound impact of motherhood
Oh, yeah.
on a woman's body and mind?
It's huge.
It's wild. It really is a wild ride, right?
No, it is.
And the book doesn't shy away from talking about some of the more controversial aspects of this whole journey.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the use of medication
Yeah.
during pregnancy and breastfeeding.
Yeah, there's a strong emphasis on avoiding medication whenever possible
Okay.
during those sensitive times.
Yeah.
Really encouraging exploring all other options first.
So it's not about demonizing medication entirely,
No, not at all.
but recognizing that there are, potential risks involved,
Right.
both for the mother and the developing baby.
Exactly. And it really highlights the importance of, having those open and honest conversations with your healthcare providers.
Yeah.
Really weighing the potential benefits against the potential risks
Yeah.
and considering all the available options.
So it's about making informed choices,
Yes.
not just blindly following whatever protocol is presented.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when it comes to breastfeeding, the book is a huge advocate for the natural process.
Absolutely. There's a fascinating section that breaks down the unique composition of breast milk.
Okay.
It's not just about nutrition, know.
Right.
It also contains this special blend of ingredients,
Yeah.
including antibodies and even cannabinoids.
Wait, hold on. Cannabinoids
Yeah.
in breast milk.
That contribute to a baby's well-being.
Wow.
and foster that incredible mother-child bond.
That's amazing. I never knew that.
Yeah.
It's like nature's own recipe for like soothing and connecting.
It is. It really highlights those intricate ways our bodies are designed to nurture and care for our little ones.
Yeah, and those early experiences of closeness and comfort, those actually shape a baby's brain development.
It does.
So wild.
Setting the stage for healthy relationships later in life.
It's mind-blowing to think about the long-term impact of those early bonding experiences.
It is.
But let's be real for a moment. Motherhood isn't all like blissful snuggles and oxytocin highs.
No, definitely not.
It can also be incredibly stressful.
Absolutely.
Juggling the demands of a tiny human with everything else life throws at us.
Right. And the book doesn't sugarcoat those challenges.
Right.
It delves into how chronic stress can impact a woman's body, both physically and emotionally.
Okay.
And it all comes down to this thing called the cortisol inflammation connection.
The cortisol what?
Cortisol inflammation connection.
Okay. Break that down for me.
Okay, so when we're stressed,
Yeah.
our bodies release this hormone called cortisol.
Okay.
In short bursts, cortisol is actually helpful.
Mhm.
It gives us the energy and focus to deal with challenging situations.
Right.
But when stress becomes chronic,
Yeah.
those cortisol levels stay elevated, and that leads to inflammation throughout the body.
And inflammation's bad news, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Think of inflammation as your body's natural alarm system. Okay.
A little bit is okay, even necessary sometimes.
Right.
But when that alarm keeps blaring,
Uh-huh.
it starts to damage the system itself.
Yeah.
So chronic inflammation is linked to everything from, heart disease and diabetes
Right.
to depression and autoimmune disorders.
So what can we do about it?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Is it all about just trying to avoid stress?
Well, avoiding stress completely is impossible.
Right. Life happens.
Life happens, exactly.
Yeah.
But the key is to find healthy ways to manage that stress.
Okay.
The book suggests a combination of approaches, from exercise and spending time in nature
Yeah.
to practicing mindfulness and seeking support from friends and family.
And speaking of support,
Yeah.
the book also touches on this idea of nice girl pressure
Oh, yeah.
and how it can actually contribute to these health problems.
Absolutely. So many women are raised to believe they need to be nice and agreeable and put everyone else's needs before their own.
And while kindness is a virtue, constantly suppressing our own emotions
Yeah.
can backfire.
So it's not about being mean,
Right.
but it's about setting healthy boundaries.
Exactly.
And giving ourselves permission to express our full range of emotions.
Yes.
Even the messy ones.
The messy ones, too.
Yeah.
Bottling up those feelings doesn't make them go away.
Right.
It just pushes them down where they can fester and manifest in unhealthy ways.
Yeah, the book really encourages finding healthy outlets for those emotions.
It does.
Whether it's through therapy or journaling or creative expression.
Yeah.
Or just having a heart-to-heart with a trusted friend.
It's so important.
Yeah, it's like giving ourselves permission to be fully human.
Yes.
With all of our complexities and contradictions.
I love that.
And on that note, I love how the book emphasizes this mind-body connection. How taking care of our physical selves has a huge impact on our mental and emotional well-being.
Absolutely.
It's not just about feeling good. Right. It's about creating the foundation for a healthier and happier life overall.
Exactly. And one of the foundational pillars of well-being is a healthy diet.
Okay.
The book suggests, ditching processed foods and embracing whole natural options whenever possible.
So it's not about deprivation or following some strict diet.
Not at all.
But about nourishing our bodies with the nutrients they need to thrive.
Exactly.
It's like choosing to fuel your body with premium gas instead of the cheap stuff.
I like that analogy.
You might not notice the difference right away.
Right.
But over time, it makes a huge impact on how well your engine runs.
Yes.
But what about those little indulgences that make life a little sweeter?
Yeah.
Like that afternoon latte?
Yeah.
That gets me through the day. Is that a no-no?
Well, let's just say it's worth paying attention to how caffeine affects you.
Okay.
You know, it might feel like a much-needed energy boost.
Yeah.
But remember, caffeine can stay in your system for hours, potentially disrupting your sleep.
And we all know how cranky we get
We do.
when we're sleep deprived.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Sleep is my superpower.
It's a good one.
When I'm well rested,
Yeah.
I can conquer the world.
You got it.
But when I'm running on fumes, even small challenges feel monumental.
Yes, they do.
Speaking of things that can boost our mood,
Yeah.
the book also has some pretty frank advice
Mm-hmm.
about the importance of a healthy sex life.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the pleasure factor,
Right.
although that's certainly a nice bonus.
It is a nice bonus.
Regular sex has a cascade of benefits.
Oh.
From relieving stress and releasing those feel-good endorphins
Okay.
to boosting libido and even strengthening pelvic floor muscles.
So many benefits.
Yeah, there are.
It's like a natural mood booster, stress reliever, and workout all rolled into one.
I love it.
And speaking of physical well-being,
Yes.
the book also highlights the importance of movement,
Yeah.
not just as a way to burn calories
Right.
or achieve that perfect body,
Yeah.
but as a way to connect with our bodies and release those feel-good endorphins.
Exactly. It's about finding activities we genuinely enjoy.
Yeah.
Whether it's dancing, hiking, swimming,
Yeah.
or just taking a brisk walk in nature.
It doesn't have to be a grueling gym routine.
No, not at all.
The key is to move our bodies in ways that feel good and energizing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes the best form of movement is simply stepping outside
Yes.
and immersing ourselves in the beauty of nature.
Yeah, I love how the book emphasizes that.
Yeah.
The restorative power of spending time outdoors.
It's like hitting the reset button
It is.
for our minds and bodies.
There's something incredibly grounding and revitalizing about being in nature.
Yeah.
Studies have shown that exposure to natural light, fresh air, and greenery can reduce anxiety, improve mood, and boost creativity.
It's like a natural therapy session.
It is.
It really is.
Like nature is whispering, slow down, breathe, you've got this.
I love that. And if you're looking for like a simple but powerful technique to tap into that sense of calm and clarity,
Yeah.
look no further than your own breath.
Your breath. Yeah, the book emphasizes the power of deep breathing for calming the nervous system, reducing stress, and increasing self-awareness.
It's amazing how something as simple as taking a few deep breaths
I know.
can have such a profound impact on our state of mind.
It really can.
It's like having this secret weapon against stress and overwhelm,
Yes.
always available, right in our own bodies.
Right in our own bodies. It really is right there with us.
Yeah, and it kind of brings us back to one of the core messages of this book, you know, the importance of listening to our bodies.
Yes.
And honoring our emotions.
It's like we've been given this incredible internal compass.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the way, we were told to ignore it.
Yeah.
To push down those feelings, to put on a brave face and just keep going.
And what this book does is show us that, you know, those feelings, those fluctuations, those moody bitch moments,
Right.
they're not the enemy.
They're not?
They're messengers.
They are.
Guiding us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves.
Yeah, it's about reclaiming our power, you know? Recognizing that our hormones and our emotions aren't something to be feared or controlled,
Right.
but they're sources of wisdom and insight.
It's not about striving for some, like, unattainable state of perfect balance or emotional serenity.
No, not at all.
It's about learning to ride the waves.
Yes.
To navigate the ups and downs.
Yeah.
With a little more grace and self-compassion.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's like one tangible thing our listeners can take away from this?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think the key is to start paying attention.
Okay.
Notice those subtle shifts in your mood, your energy levels, your cravings. Don't judge those feelings. Just observe them. And then ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me?
Yeah. It's like becoming a detective
Yes.
of our own inner landscape.
Exactly. And as you start to tune in, you might be surprised by what you discover.
Totally.
Maybe you realize that afternoon sugar rush
Yeah.
is actually making you feel more anxious later on.
Right.
Or that spending just 15 minutes in nature can completely shift your mood.
It's about experimenting.
Yeah.
And finding what works for you.
Absolutely. And remembering this is a journey,
Yeah.
not a destination.
Totally.
There will be ups and downs. There will be hormonal shifts.
Right.
And moments of feeling completely out of whack.
Yeah. But the more we understand those fluctuations, the
Yeah.
more we can kind of embrace them as
Yes.
part of our, like, unique feminine power.
It's about shifting that perspective from, why am I so moody,
Yeah.
to what can I learn from this?
I love that. So to all of our deep divers out there, keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
Keep listening to your bodies.
Yes.
And remember, you are not alone in this wild ride of hormones and emotions.
We're all in this together.
We are. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating deep dive. And until next time, keep diving deep.